Good morning to all. I am Dr. M. Sumitra. I am going to discuss about column chromatography. After the discussion, you are all known about column chromatography, principle behind in the column chromatography, requirements for doing the column chromatography, and applications. First, I told about chromatography. It is one of the separation technique to separate the mixture of components into individual components. Usually it contains two phases. One is stationary phase and another one is mobile phase. Examples for stationary phase: solid or liquid will be used as a stationary phase. For mobile phase, liquid or gas will be used. Next heading, principle. Usually the chromatography will be involve two types of principle: adsorption or partition. First, adsorption. The solid material is used as a stationary phase. Mean adsorption is a principle. Adsorption according to affinity of compound to separate the mixtures. So second method is partition. The liquid material is used as a stationary phase. Partition according to solubility of substance to separate the mixtures. These are all the requirements for doing the column chromatography. First one is stationary phase, then mobile phase, column characteristic, preparation of column, introduction of sample, development technique, detection of components, and recovery of components. First I discuss about preparation of the column. The preparation of column is important point. The bottom portion of the column is packed with cotton wool or glass wool. Then only you keep the asbestos pad or sheet. Then you keep the Whatman filter paper. This glass wool and asbestos pad will be give the support for your adsorbent layer. The Whatman filter paper will be remove any impurities or dust will be there in your separations. Then you pack the adsorbent layer in your column. After the adsorbent layer, to keep the paper disc. In this paper disc will be give the support for your sample holding. Then you keep the sample for separation. Now I discuss process involved in the column chromatography. In this column chromatography, after the preparation of column, to keep the sample solution at the top of the your column. Then you pass the mobile phase continuously at particular speed. In this sample solution will be mixed with your mobile phase. Then it will be separate into the layers to adsorbent portions. In this picture, the violet color will be indicated the sample solution and your mobile phase will be indicated in the light blue color. Once you pass the mobile phase, the substance will be separated into two layers. One is red color, another one is violet color. The violet color substance will be having stronger affinity, so it will be move slowly. The red color sample cell will be lesser affinity, so it will be moving faster and it will be came out first. So now you will be understood the process involved in the column chromatography. Next, the important step is selection of your stationary phase. Usually the adsorbent will be used as a stationary phase. This adsorbent will be having following characteristic. First one is the particle should have uniform size and the particle size range is 60 to 200 micrometer and it should have high mechanical stability and it should not react with your solute molecules and insoluble in your solvents and it should be colorless and it should allow free flow of your mobile phase, and it will be used for wide variety of your components. The adsorbent will be classified into three types according to the adsorption activity. So the first one is weak adsorbent, second one is medium adsorbent, third one is strong adsorbent. These are all the example for your adsorbent substance. Usually the adsorbent process will be, the substance will be adhere at the outer surface of your adsorbent. So if you are repeated passing of your mobile phase, the adsorbed substance will be removed from your adsorbent layers. So all the substance now having different adsorption activity, so it will be easily separated from mixtures. The next step is selection of stationary phase. To select the stationary phase according to the following characteristic. First one is removal of impurities. If your substance having small quantity of impurity, to use the weak adsorbent. If your number of components is more mean, you will be use the strong adsorbent. If your number of components is less mean, to select the weak adsorbent. Next factor is affinity difference between the components. The affinity difference is more mean, to use the weak adsorbent. The affinity difference is less mean, to select the strong adsorbent. The next factor is length of the column. If you are using the shorter length column mean, to select the strong adsorbent. If you are longer length column mean, to select the weak adsorbent. Next topic is packing technique. Two types of packing technique will be used, dry packing and wet packing. Dry packing, to pack the adsorbent in the dried form, then allow to pass the mobile phase up to the equilibrium process. This having disadvantages: to entrapment of air bubbles between the particles. Column is not packed uniformly. Sometimes the cracks may be present, as well as it will be not produce the clear bands between the substance. The important method is wet packing technique. It is an ideal technique for packing of your column. First the adsorbent is mixed with the mobile phase, then packed into the column. This having number of advantages: no entrapment of air bubbles between the particles, it should produce uniform packing, and it should give the clear separation of your substance, and also it will be rectify the problems arised from the dry packing technique. Next step is introduction of sample. The mixture of components first mixed with the mobile phase, then introduced into the column. Next step is development technique. Usually they are using two types of development technique. One is isocreatic, another one is gradient. In this, isocreatic mean to use the same solvent and the same ratio of mobile phase throughout the process. Gradient mean to change the mobile phase as well as ratio between the process. Next step is recovery of components. To collect the components by cut the column according to the color zone, then it will be dissolved in the mobile phase. The mixture of solvent usually called as a eluent. The separated substance is called as eluate. The last point is deduction of components. To deduct the component according to color. If you are colored compounds mean to separate the colored band and identified visually. If you are colorless compounds mean to use any of the following method: absorption of light, either UV or visible method, or fluorescence technique, or flame ionization detectors or to use the refractive index detectors. Is the reflection point. Dear students, try to say the importance of column chromatography. Next topic is factors affecting the column efficiency. The following factors are affected the column efficiency. Dimension of the column. The length of the column is act as an important role. If you are increasing the length of column and reducing the diameter, the separation efficiency will be increased. The next factor is particle size. The particle size also act as an important role. If you are reducing the particle size, the separation efficiency will be increased. Next factor is nature of solvent. Usually try to select the less viscous solvent to get the better separation. The next factor is temperature of the column. Usually to use the optimum temperature to get the better separation. Pressure, to keep the maximum pressure at the top of the column and minimum pressure at the bottom of the column. Next part is applications. The chromatography technique usually used to separate the mixture of components into individual compounds. Particularly, the column chromatography is used for both qualitative as well as quantitative analysis. In case of the column chromatography is used for both crude drugs as well as synthetic drug preparations. In this, removal of impurities as well as isolation of active constituents from the extract and isolation of metabolites from the biological fluids, as well as it involved in the estimation of drugs in the formulations. Thank you for your listening.